DFN Project SEARCH is a national charity for young people with a learning disability or who are autistic to support them building that bridge to transition from education into employment. So we partner with over 200 partner organisations, and each young person is placed in a host business, and all of their training and their experience is embedded within that business. They complete rotations and have tailored support from a job coach to develop the skills they need to work into a career. So nationally, only around 5% of young people with a learning disability are in paid work. We know that on average, once completing our programme, around 63% of our graduates go into paid employment. So we know that it works given the right opportunity and the right matching. We're really ambitious and we're really excited. We have a goal to get 10,000 young people into paid employment by 2030, and we're well on our way to that. So we're excited about the future.
DFN Project SEARCH is a transfer to work programme. We work with 16 to 25-year-olds who have an EHCP and are in their last year of education. Young people are enrolled in a college and are based out of a local host business 5 days a week. During their time at that host business, they complete 3 rotations, 1 per term, as mini internships, and they also complete an employability curriculum, typically bookending the day, morning and afternoon. They'll have a job coach and a tutor working with them at that host business. About 63% of our young people go on to secure employment, but every single young person creates and establishes a set of transferable skills that can be applied in all workplaces.
As part of National Supported Internship Day, we spoke to 2 parents about their experience with DFN Project SEARCH. We would like to introduce you to Nicola and Emma.
Yeah, hi, I'm Nicola. I'm Ellie's mum. We live in Orpington. Ellie's 24 and she's at the moment she's doing Project SEARCH at the Princess Royal University Hospital in Orpington.
So my name's Emma Price. I am the parent of a lovely young man with a learning disability and autism called Bobby. He joined the DFN Project SEARCH programme a lot of years ago.
Can you tell us a bit about the supported internship?
Yeah, so she's doing the DFN Project SEARCH at the hospital. I went along with her this time last year to hear what it was all about, because I knew that some people at her MenCap college, which is where she currently was last year, had gone there for their final year on their EHCP. So we went along to kind of get some more information about it, really. I didn't really know anything. And I walked in and it was very friendly, very informal. And the current students that were on that Project SEARCH last year were all lined up at the back of the room. And I met Dave and he was telling us parents all about it. And he kept talking to his interns, his current interns, while he was talking to us and engaging with them and coming out with funny stuff. And I just felt quite emotional in a good way. I felt I really wanted Ellie to be able to get a chance to be on this project. And I kind of almost prayed, thinking, please let her be one of the ones that gets chosen. And luckily she was. So she's at the hospital doing 3 rotations over the course of the school year. And she's got the most wonderful mentor, Emmanuel, who's embraced her and she's embraced him. And she's doing housekeeping, which, bearing in mind she can barely keep her bedroom tidy at home, I'm quite surprised at, but she's really, really enjoying it. Gets up, organises herself. I've never had to encourage her to be ready to go. She's always wanted to go. And she comes home and literally, when Lauren emailed me last week to say, hi, would you be able to do what we're doing today? She was literally practically sitting on my lap, rabbiting in my ear about her day, about how happy she was and what she'd done and what she said, Mummy, you do know I'm so happy doing this because I'm telling you everything I've done during the day. So that's kind of, you know, she's happy. If she's happy, I'm happy.
So Bobby went on the supported internship at the Royal London Hospital. he absolutely was determined that he was going to go to work. He didn't want to go to college or anything like that. He just wanted to go to work. That was it. He absolutely loved the hospitals, the hospital setting. He worked in the FM yard, and they were saying that people don't like the baler and stuff like that, but Bobby would spend half the day on it because he absolutely loved it. But he had a really good work ethic, which was, I think, like the basis of what he needed to sort of like to start work. So yeah, he did quite well, yes.
What is the experience like for you as a parent? How much are you involved?
I feel very involved. Like Dave's at the end of an email or a text. Ellie often shares her WhatsApp with me, and she's on a group chat with Dave and all the other interns. So there's lots of chat on there. And if there was anything that I wasn't happy with, or anything that I was concerned with, or something that I thought I hadn't done, then Dave was very quick to respond to me if I need him to be. I mean, to be fair, I hope I haven't ever caused him any grief, but as a parent, I felt very involved, which is nice, because although Ellie is 24, I still, like, she was confused with something that she might have been asked, and then I wouldn't want her getting upset thinking that she couldn't tell me. So the communication between everyone has been really nice. And then we did have, before the end of the first term, like a parents' evening, I suppose, if you want to call it, where it was me, a job coach, Dave, and Ellie's mentor came, which Dave said that was quite unusual, but he wanted to meet me and he wanted to introduce himself and say how impressed he was with Ellie. So it's all been very positive from my eyes.
So from the beginning, I attended all like the open evenings and stuff like that, because it was Kaleidoscope that was running it at the time. I absolutely was kept informed. We had a few hiccups with the funding being across schools and colleges and where it come from at the beginning, but other than that, employment planning meetings were a time where I absolutely loved them. It was every step of the way we was kept informed of what was going on with his education, like his employability course. That was all brought up in his EPMs and stuff like that. And I think it was the first time, his first EPM was probably the first time I sat back and thought, wow, this is what I wanted. This is what you wanted for yourself more than anything, because for all the will in the world, Bobby needed to want, but it's Bobby's decision. Everything was Bobby's decision, and he wanted to go to work. And this was such a good way for him to get in and show what he could do, because he can't talk and tell you, oh, I can do that, I can do this and whatever. But you know what? He can show you. And I think that was the best thing that ever happened. It changed his life, literally.
What skills has Ellie gained from her supported internship that has helped her in employment?
I think the main thing is the confidence, which is hard. It's hard to measure, but she, as a mum, I can see she has gained so much confidence, communication skills, her job coach really encouraging her. So she comes home and she almost walks taller because of it. It's hard. It's hard. I get emotional when I think about it too much, because I'm so proud of her. But it's not just me being proud, it's Dave being proud, and the job coach is being proud, and the mentor being proud. He's got her to do things like make phone calls to different departments, which, for you or I, might not seem such a big step, but for her, because it was the first one she'd done, she couldn't wait to come home and tell me she'd made a phone call to report that a curtain was hanging down. And so once you've done it, you can, but it's having the opportunity to do that. So she's also had to go to a different site. Obviously she'd never been to the hospital so regularly as she has since she's been doing the project search, so it's working out for her the bus routes to come home and the bus routes if she wants to go to Bromley with her friends. So it's making her more independent as well.
What skills has your son gained from his supported internship that has helped him in employment?
So when Bobby first started on the Project Search programme, he wasn't travel trained. He's now an independent traveller. I mean, he travels backwards and forwards to work. His communication skills, like he has to go out and communicate with other departments. So whereas before, if people would talk to him, he would sort of like shy away from them. Now he doesn't. He's a part of the team that he works. He's always been a part of the team that he works with. And I think that was really important, that he wasn't left out of anything. He was made to feel part of the team. So I would say, I mean, Bobby's always been kind and helpful anyway, but I think just letting him showcase the skills that he has, if that makes sense. So it was very much like he's learned the biggest thing for me is communication and the travel training. And I mean, there's so much more, but those were the two main things that I really wanted for him.
What would you say to parents whose young people are considering doing the supported internship at Project Search?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. It's just amazing. I don't know what else words to use really. I mean, go along, learn like I did, go along with an open mind because you're just not really sure. But I walked away and I don't know how I didn't cry when I'd left that room. There were so many people, so many parents, so many students, young people who wanted to go on that, and I just felt it was right for Ellie. So just go along, find out what it entails. It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Please do it. It's gonna change your young person's life. They sort of like they flower in front of you. If I mean, I love EPM 1 to EPM 2 because you actually see their confidence growing, from when they first start and their heads down. And, I watched Bobby flourish from EPM 1 to EPM 2. And it was like he was standing up straighter. He was so confident in what he was doing. Like he could tell me what he was doing. And I think 100% is life-changing. And not just for Bobby, I think for the families too, because you strive for a future for them, for our young people. The biggest thing in life is you want them to have a future. You want them to be part of society, you want them to be accepted. And I think 100%, from my point of view, Bobby is, but I would say 100% go for it.